Hey everyone, I'm Kristen the Cross Stitching Runner and welcome to my channel. I want to say a big hello and welcome to all new and returning viewers. If by chance you've stumbled across this channel is all about cross stitch with a bit of life stuff thrown in, and it has been a while since I've recorded because I have been focusing solely on just one project, and I've noticed that a lot of people haven't been coming back and watching the videos or recordings and such that I've uploaded to my channel because sadly it is just one project. So I'm touching base because I've hit just a little bit over 80% completion with the project that I've been focusing on. And that particular project, if you are stumbling across this channel and such, it's called the Grinch Santa Claus, and it is a pattern that was designed by TomStitch off Etsy, and I'm stitching this for a friend. She had chosen this particular pattern, and hopefully I can get this around the right way. Here we are. So this is what Grinch Santa Claus will look like roughly when it's done. And I have just recently taken this out of the hoop. It's not been ironed because it is going to go straight back into the hoop, and later today I'll be working on it. So this is my progress so far, and I am just super excited that I am starting to see that light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. And this is the first piece where I've been actively doing the extreme cross country style of stitching, and there have been some learning curves and mistakes made along the way where I've needed to frog certain bits. However, the fact that I have done this extreme cross-stitching style of this piece, it has helped so much for being able to see the progress, and I feel that it's helped me to work through the big chunks of colour. So I had in Pattern Keeper updated the key, so to speak, of sorting it so that the threads that had the most amount of stitches were at the top, and I'll just systematically or methodically rather work through those colours. And I'm now working on colours that have about 800 or less stitches in them, and at the moment I am focusing on, where are we? Let's bring it around it this way. I am focusing at the moment on this bottom corner here where I'm able, actually no, rather over the other side, that's it. I'm focusing on this corner over here where I'm filling in the colour, which is DMC 995, 996, thereabouts. And it is going to be filling in actually quite a lot of gap, or quite a few gaps within this broader picture. So the other day, or last night rather, I did message my friend who I'm stitching this for, just to say, hey, this is a progress and we've hit the 80% completion mark. And I'm super excited about this because I feel like I'm getting that bit closer to actually completing it by my goal date of the 9th of August. And at the moment that feels like it's achievable, also forgetting that I still have 20% to stitch, and there are still quite a lot of stitches involved with that percentage. Also noting that hopefully next week I'll be taking a few days off work, and that's going to help with focusing on some stitching and getting all of that sorted out. That is pretty much it for my stitching side of things. The other really cool life component thing that it's taken me a while to get there, but I'm getting into a really good headspace about it. And the really cool thing is that my boyfriend and I are going to be moving back to Canberra. This is something that I wasn't sure as to when exactly we'd get around to doing this. It is something that I'm excited about, and I'm feeling a lot happier about now that I have said this to a few key people at work, and that it has, I think, changed my working relationships with some people, which I think has been in a good way. The thing that I'm getting into really great headspace about though is we've been here in Wollongong for nearly 3 years. It'll be coming up to 3 years, sort of roughly mid-October, when we'd moved up here. And it has been a fantastic, absolutely fantastic experience, because I've been living in Canberra, in the Canberra region, for 30 odd years. We'd be getting close to 38 years in Canberra, or the Canberra region. And I love Canberra. I've been increasingly missing Canberra and missing the weather, and to an extent missing people as well. It's just I'm Canberra's my home, and it always will be. And even the Canberra region, it will always be my home. And I'll have a soft spot for Wollongong. I've learnt a lot of things here, and there'll be certain elements that I won't miss. I guess it's similar to Canberra as well, where you've got to take the good with the bad. So the thing that I'm also super looking forward to with moving back to Canberra is that for the first time ever, I intentionally don't have a job lined up. I'm putting applications in for jobs that I think will be interesting, but I'm not putting applications in just for the sake of putting an application in to have a job lined up. And roughly this time last year, if not towards the end of last year, that was a really, really scary thing. And I didn't feel comfortable at that stage with not having a job lined up, because for the majority of my working life, I have always had a job lined up when I've put a resignation in to leave a place. And it's kind of scary to just throw caution to the wind, but also noting that I feel like this is the right time. That with other things that I've been looking at in the internet, because I like watching tarot readings and similar themes of things. It feels like I'm getting these messages, and even with people that I've been talking to in real life, kind of set up that this is going to be a good thing, because I feel that I need a little bit of a career change, because I've been working in the information management space for a good 17 years or so, perhaps longer. And I've even studied and gotten degrees and other related certificates and such to help back up that I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to certain elements in that space. And I'm getting a bit tired, I'm getting a bit worn out. I will always love information management, especially when it comes to archival elements and records management, because especially when we start talking about archives and history and how that can be presented to people, I think is really cool. So when we start thinking about, say, state and national archives and museums and galleries and national libraries, state libraries, and all of those sort of collecting institutes, the way that they can present that information is super cool because you tell it in a way that's a story that can be engaging and interesting for people. And you actually end up learning a bit about what life could have been like back in 100 years ago, 10 years, 20 years ago, whatever, whatever the time frame had been, whatever the theme had been. So there might be like your social side of things, of what life was like just for the average person working, and that the cost of living back in those days, and how much people may have earned to then be able to buy a home and that kind of thing. And when you then compare it to today's environment and all, it's like, wow, it's a mind-blowing scenario. Or even just thinking about how people spent their free time, and what people enjoy doing, and whether that still resonates with today's things, and how we spend our time. I could probably ramble on quite a lot about that for longer than many people may care to listen to. So that's sort of what fills my cup a bit, with the records management and archival side of things. And there's a possibility that I may return to that industry if the universe says that, yeah, you're meant to be back there, you're meant to be working in that space. But if not, I've got a few thoughts and plans up the sleeve. Cross stitch is still going to be very much a big part of my life, and it has been to date and will continue to be, because I'm one of those people who needs to be doing something with my hands, in the sense that if we're going to be chilling out on the couch, there might be a movie going or something on the TV, I need to be doing something with the hands. I need to be doing cross stitch or doing something creative in that sense, or somehow expending out the creative juices in some way. I still have some thoughts and plans with regards to reviving hot cross stitching and charts designs, and who knows, even the possibility of reviving the plans for cross stitch lessons and that kind of thing, and giving some thought to how exactly that will work in a digital and face-to-face capacity. There's thoughts and ideas, and the great thing is when we do move back to Canberra, I'll have that time to be able to give it a lot more thought, time and energy to see what happens. And I definitely aim to still keep doing these floss tube episodes, and I'm looking forward to being able to share with you progress on a lot more projects that I'm stitching. For example, this time of year, we're seeing quite a lot of mid-year whip parades, and I have been enabled a little bit, and I'm keen to eventually purchase a chart that I've seen someone working on. It's to do with libraries and that kind of thing, which is pretty cool. So that is my big brain dump, my big thoughts and ideas of what's going on, changes that are happening. So we'll still be here in Wollongong for a few more months at least. There's some things that we'll need to change, do, wrap up, decide what to do with stuff that I've got behind me, and enjoy the weather. Today, the weather is absolutely awesome. There's blue sky, the sun's out, and it's not windy. There will be a breeze. We have had a lot of gusty wind recently, so it's nice to not have doors rattling, things blowing around, and wondering if you're going to still have your feet on the ground or not get blown over by the wind. So there is those things as well, where I'm hoping to get the table and chairs out and enjoy sitting on the balcony for a little bit and get a lot more cross stitch done, and see how much more progress I can do for the Grinch. Because when we start hitting that 90% mark, that is going to be absolutely awesome, because it'll be like, yeah, come on, let's get this done. So even if I don't hit the 9th of August, it'll be super close for when that actually gets done. So big breaths, deep breaths, enjoy the process, and go from there. So thank you for bearing with me for a little over 15 minutes, and I hope that if you have made it this far and you're actually keen to find out how things look when I finish the Grinch Santa Claus, and you actually want to be notified of when I finish, I strongly recommend that if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. But even more importantly, click on that bell icon, because that bell icon is the bee's knees to being told when I next upload a video. Because like with any other channel, you can subscribe and you might have these video things come up in your feed, but if you hit that notification bell, then you will definitely receive notifications about future videos that I do. Also, if you're okay with this content and this rambling that I did, this significant life update and such that I have provided, click on that like button as well. And I hope to see you, probably not in a couple of weeks' time, but I will see you in a few weeks at least. A few weeks. So a few weeks could be a month. Maybe when I finish, maybe when I hit that 90% mark. Who knows? But until then, happy stitching, and I hope everything's all good with you too. See you later.